You know what just happened to me, guys? I just started recording this video and realized my mic was muted. Yesterday before Jackie got out, I was going to make a joke about starting videos with the microphone being muted, and I think I cursed myself, knock on wood, because I literally just did it. I was 10 minutes into making the video, guys. Why? Anyway, hey guys, what's going on? Muted microphone jab here. And in today's video, something crazy has happened. The Bitcoin Golden Cross. Yay! All right, pause. Okay, let's reel in that hype for a second because it's not all fun and games in the wide world of internet money. There's some serious analysis that needs to be done here because one of the golden rules that I try to follow in my trading is to never trade based off of one technical indicator. I don't care how powerful it is. You should always, as a habit, have more than one indicator to back up the trade that you are making. And as powerful as golden crosses are, guys, they are but one single pattern. So in this video, instead of hyping you up and calling for an all-time high run in the next couple of months or a $100,000 Bitcoin in some arbitrary time frame, I'm going to try to actually give you some value, and I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know about this golden cross from the very basics to the more advanced concepts. This video has been scripted to be your one-stop shop for everything you need to know on the golden cross so that you can watch one video and be caught up to speed, and so that I can get that juicy watch time for the YouTube algorithm. Speaking of the YouTube algorithm, hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy the video. Helps us out. Guys, sit back, relax, grab your favorite cup of joe. Mine's currently sitting in this, kind of snowflake mode. Looks kind of cool if you ask me. And get ready because we're about to dive on in. Before we do, though, I do want to mention one thing, and that would, of course, be the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. If you guys have been living under a rock and you didn't know, CT2A is on sale, and in fact, this is the last time that CT2A will ever be sold for this price. That's our course that teaches you everything you need to know, from the very basics to the far more advanced concepts, just like how we're talking about this golden cross today, on Bitcoin technical analysis. Use the link in the description down below and coupon code Valentine's Day 2020 to get $40 off at checkout. That is the last time that you will ever get this program for this price. More on that at the end of the video, but for now though, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Whew, guys. The reason that my microphone was muted and the reason that I had to redo this intro is because I had to record something yesterday for a new video Taylor and I are working on. Oh my gosh, this is going to be great. I can't wait to show you. It's going to be coming out in the next couple of days. Oh, I'm pumped. It looks so good. Get hyped in the comment section. I'm really excited to show you. The first cohort got a sneak preview. Reason to join. Nevertheless, golden crosses. Let's do it. Like I said, guys, this video is a one-stop shop for everybody. That means all the noobs and all the experts are going to be able to get some value out of this video, which also means that we need to start at the basics. What is a golden cross? This will be brief, I promise you. Quite simply, a golden cross is what happens when a shorter-term moving average crosses above a longer-term moving average. There you go. That's all you need to know. I guess we can roll credits now. You can go ahead, start the music. We can... You want more? Really? Okay. So, yeah, okay. So, because a golden cross defines a shorter-term moving average crossing above a longer-term one, that means you can have the 20 crossing above the 200, the 100 crossing above the 200, the 50 crossing above the 100. All of those would be golden crosses, despite what some people in the comment section are probably saying below this very video. They're probably saying that a golden cross is only when you have a 50 crossing a 200 moving average. They're wrong. This kind of golden cross that we're seeing on the Bitcoin chart and that you've probably seen everybody and their mother talking about for the last 2 months is the golden of the golden crosses. It's the one that everybody pays attention to. It is the mother of all golden crosses. It is the 50 crossing above the 200, and it is on the daily chart. The reason this golden cross is so important is because there have only been count them, 4 times in history that one has ever happened, including today. Those times in history would be right here in April of 2019, right here in October of 2015, and right here in February of 2012. As you can tell, they don't happen very often. And just like a finely cut diamond, guys, their rarity is what makes their value, because when these golden crosses happen, they always, except for 2 occasions, which I'll be showing you in just a second, whenever a golden cross happens and is confirmed and it's a real golden cross, it's not a fake out, whenever one happens, it always starts a bull market. If you'll notice on each of these 3 cases, once, twice, and thrice, I'm bringing that word back, by the way. That's Old English. I love that word. Thrice, heck yeah. In those thrice times that Bitcoin has ever had a golden cross, it has always started a bull market. So what would be different about this case? Well, like I said, there have been a couple of fake outs in history, and some people might argue that this is one of them. Looking back on the history of the cryptocurrency market, we're going to see a golden cross right here and a golden cross right here that did not result in a bull market. They were very quickly stopped out and faked out. But one thing you'll notice is that this golden cross, it crossed bullish, but the market was not bullish when it happened. And this one right over here, yes, we did have a death cross to follow, but very soon thereafter, we had another golden cross and the bull market started. Bitcoin is not in the same position as either of these because Bitcoin is very bullish, and unlike both of those cases, the 200 moving average is not trending to the downside when it crossed, it's actually trending sideways, which is a good sign. So with that being said, I find it very unlikely that this would be a fake out. And guys, the reason that golden crosses are so important is because they relate to the alignment of the moving averages. We actually have a video in CT2A on golden and death crosses right here, and in this video, we talk about the alignment of the moving averages. What that phrase relates to is the stack of the moving averages. As you can see right here, we have our 50 moving average, we have our 100 moving average, and we have our 200 moving average. The shortest term is on top, and the longest term is on the bottom. The medium term one is right here in the middle. That is a bull market alignment. On the other hand, what we saw just a few months ago back in December is we had the longest term moving average on top and the shortest term moving average on the bottom, with the middle term moving average still sitting here in the middle. That's a bear market alignment. But if you're going to change your alignment, of course, you have to have crosses. And that's what we're seeing happen right now, guys. As you can see, we've already had the 50 cross the 100, which was also a golden cross and was very important. Now we're seeing the 50 cross the 200. So what we're going to see happen is that these moving averages are going to move like this. And then after that, we're going to see the 100 come up here and cross bullish. And instead of having our alignment of longest, medium, and shortest like this from top to bottom, we're going to have our shortest term moving average, our medium term moving average, and our longer term moving average like this, which is a bull market alignment. That, my friends, is the detail that no one ever goes into on bull markets and on golden crosses. There's a reason why they're important. The reason they're important is because you're realigning those moving averages. You're getting the shorter term on top. Those longer term moving averages are lagging indicators because they are designed to be. The shorter the interval on that moving average, the faster it's going to respond to market forces. So what that means is that the shorter term ones, which do respond quicker, if they're above the longer term ones, that means that in general, the trend has been to the upside and that you can expect a continued bull market because, as we know, the trend is your friend until it ends. The bearish trend, the bear market that we have been in, is your friend until it ends. Golden crosses signal the end of that. They are confirming indicators of the end of a bear market and the beginning of a bull market. That, my friends, is why they're so powerful. So with all of that out of the way, let's do some short-term analysis and then we'll project out into the future on Bitcoin. Because one thing I want to make sure you guys are aware of is that golden crosses are not always short-term bullish forces. In fact, in history, many times they haven't been. If we look at this time period in history back over here in April of 19, we're going to see that the golden cross happened and immediately following, Bitcoin fell 11.5% on the wicks. Back here when we had our fake out this time, you saw Bitcoin had a golden cross and very quickly thereafter, Bitcoin fell 16%. Even our first golden cross in history back here in 2012 resulted in a 33% correction. So I want to make sure you guys are aware that golden crosses are not always bullish forces on the short term. They're not calling for short-term movements. In fact, golden crosses, they show up on the daily chart, but they act a lot more like weekly chart signals. How often do you have a bullish or a bearish MACD cross out on the weekly chart? Not very often, right? Same thing. You don't have golden crosses or death crosses very often on the daily chart or anywhere. They show up on the daily chart, but it's actually more like they're on the weekly chart with the amount of time it takes for them to have an impact. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Ultimately, this golden cross means bull market, of course. It's a confirmation of the end of the bear market that we were in. It's a confirmation of a new bull market starting. It's a very bullish trend, and people know that. People are going to start investing in the space that have left. There's going to be more money coming into the market because of it. I don't think it's a fake out, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. In general, this is a very bullish thing for Bitcoin. But what about the short term? Well, guys, as I said, golden crosses are not always bullish things in the short term, and there's a lot more analysis that goes into short-term technical analysis than longer-term analysis. That just seems to be a general trend in markets. And if we look at the market right now, as you can see, Bitcoin's MACD is actually bearish and moving back towards the zero level on the histogram, and RSI is pulled all the way back down to 53 on the daily chart, which is very healthy. That's exactly what I wanted. If you go back 2 videos, I was talking about how I want Bitcoin to go back to either $9,000 to $9,500, somewhere in there, and overnight, Bitcoin did go ahead and correct down to about $9,498, which, you know, that it's technically within the range I said. So I am happy with that. I'm perfectly fine with Bitcoin pulling back there. I could see a little bit more. The reason I say that is because Bitcoin is definitely in a downtrend right here. We've had lower highs and lower lows. But the thing you need to remember is to not trade based off of one indicator, because if we just looked at this downtrending channel, you wouldn't notice, oh, wait a second, that looks like an inverse head and shoulders pattern. If you were only looking at that one technical indicator, that one pattern, you might not also notice that Bitcoin is sitting above the most important support level that it could possibly be sitting above. $9,500 to $9,600 is really about a range in that $100 area, is one of the most powerful levels of support that Bitcoin has, and the VPVR shows that pretty clearly right here with some climaxes around $94 and $9,800. So yeah, Bitcoin needed a correction. Bitcoin needed to cool off on that daily chart RSI. I could have seen Bitcoin going a little bit lower, but I'll be honest with you, I'm comfortable with where we are now, and I would be comfortable moving into a position with a stop loss around $9,450, maybe even $9,400 flat. Because continuing the trend of looking at everything and not just one interval, this looks like a little bit of a weird inverse head and shoulders pattern, but you know what? This kind of does also. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna reserve a lot of my judgment right now, but there is a very strong argument to be made that Bitcoin bounces at $9,500. I want to make sure that's known. So guys, what's the rub? Bitcoin is indecisive on the short term. If you have one of those dials that goes from bearish to bullish, we're somewhere right around here, okay? We're looking a little bit more bullish than bearish. As far as the long-term technical analysis, we are way the hell over here because Bitcoin just had one of the most bullish technical indicators and confirmations that you can possibly have on a cryptocurrency market. The last thing that we need to be keeping an eye on is the inflow of valuation into the space and the interest in the space, which is the last point I want to make. Because of this short-term correction on Bitcoin, we've actually seen a bit of a problem. On the 12-month chart here for the search term Bitcoin, it looks like we're having an uptrend. We moved from back in January of around 28 all the way up to where we are now of around 39. That looks like bullish to me, but over the last 30 days, you can see we pulled back from 100 all the way down to 71, which is still higher than where we were, but it means a lot less people are searching Bitcoin. One thing to also mention is that one of my favorite search phrases to check out over here, what is Bitcoin, because that's something that someone who has no idea what Bitcoin is going to be searching, has gone from 33 up to 54. That is good, but over the last couple of weeks, it has kind of plateaued. As you can see, we've basically been trading sideways here if you want to use a chart term. One thing to also mention, guys, is that Bakkt is doing a bit of a belly flop. We're looking at 415 contracts over here when this used to be 3,000. It's unfortunate, but Bakkt just doesn't seem to be having the same kind of volume and liquidity that it used to have. Hopefully that'll turn around, but it does kind of signal to me that there's not a lot of institutional interest in investing. Maybe on over-the-counter markets, there's a lot going on, but for right now, it doesn't look like they're very interested in the exchanges, which is not a good thing because over-the-counter buying doesn't actually affect Bitcoin in the slightest. At the end of the day, guys, we're short-term, kind of bullish. We're long-term, very bullish, and we're also worrying about the inflow of valuation into the space and the interest in the space, but I think that's going to pick up in time. We just need to have a little bit of faith in old Grandpa Bitcoin. And, you know, that's one thing you also have to remember is that I make that joke, but Bitcoin is not Grandpa. I joke about that because I also joke that Bitcoin is entering middle school. I mean, guys, Bitcoin is 11 years old. That might sound old. Are you going to expect an 11-year-old to be doing quantum mechanics? No. Are you going to expect an 11-year-old asset of an emerging market to be worth hundreds of trillions of dollars or tens of trillions of dollars yet? No, of course not. There is so much room to run, guys. So remember, just because Bitcoin might be having a short-term pullback, or even if Bitcoin, I don't care if Bitcoin pulls back to like $1,000. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Don't take that out of context. I don't care what it does. We're very young in the market, and we need to be making sure that we're investing and filling up our bags so that we're ready for the future. With all that said, guys, I do want to mention one more thing. But before we do, I'm going to get CT2A out of the way. As you guys know, the Valentine's Day sale is running. If you use coupon code Valentine's Day 2020 at checkout, you're going to get $40 off on CT2A. That brings the course price down to $159, which is an absolute steal, guys. I'm serious. This course is going to be worth $500 eventually because it's going to have like 60 or 70 videos that have taken 10 hours to edit, several hours to make and produce. There is over 1,000 hours going into the update of this course, and it is worth, listen to this, every single penny. If you don't believe me, I encourage you, join our Discord server down below and talk to some of our students. I want you to go and talk to our students in private where I can't see the conversation so that you know that you're having a confidential and a real conversation with a real student. I want you to go and do that. If you have any questions for me or Taylor, feel free to email me, but I want you to go and talk to our students and get their private testimony. Like I say all the time, guys, I can Photoshop testimonials and throw them up on screen. I mean, I could literally add 10 minutes of testimonial slideshows here at the end of the video. There's no reason to do that. I'm serious, guys. Like once every 3 months, I download one testimonial and skip over like 100 of them, and we get a bunch of them. Like here's one of them. DeLuca Photography said, I'm a student of Jeb's courses. You will not be disappointed. Chainwax said, damn, Jeb's indicator lessons are simplifying so much of what I heard other YouTubers talking about. No gobbledygook, no nonsense, just straight to the point. The Academy is legit. I was watching a video about ascending wedge being a bearish signal and traced one on Bitcoin at the same time, and then boom, it went down. Would you like me to keep going? I can. I have a policy of complete and total honesty on the channel. I wouldn't lie to you guys. The people that know me in my personal life understand just how seriously I take my honesty and my integrity. And this is exactly the same. There's a 14-day money-back refund guarantee. I will give you all of your money back if you don't enjoy the Academy. I want you to get the most value out of your dollar. If it's not with me, then it's not with me. But I don't think you're going to do that. In fact, in the comments section or on Discord somewhere, someone said, hey, just join the Academy. There's a 14-day money-back refund guarantee. There's nothing to worry about. He was right. Guys, I've studied sales. I can go through all the sales tactics and try to pitch you everything. It's all a bunch of crap. It's a good product. Talk to our students. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, guys, before we wrap the video out, there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that's just spending time on your passion. I'm very passionate about these videos. That's why every morning I'm excited to sit down here, script write, plan a joke for the intro, think about how we can do some cool intros like the headphone snap. And yesterday, Taylor was over and we were working on a new project video because we need to get some practice for the new channel that we're working on. and we put together an awesome video. It's not done yet. I will show you when it is. But guys, oh man, I'm really excited. This new channel is going to be amazing. Of course, it's not going to affect anything here on Crypto Jeb. In fact, it's only going to make this channel better. This year is going to be absolutely amazing, and I am really excited about it. I'm excited to bring you guys on the journey with me. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. I want to know what you guys thought of the video. What do you think about the Golden Cross? Do you think it is going to result in a longer-term bull market? I think it is, obviously. Hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. But guys, remember, if you have a passion, maybe it's not the best idea to make it your career. If your passion is to do underwater basket weaving, you might not be able to make a job and a living out of that. But that doesn't mean that you don't do that. Spending time on your passion is one of the things that's going to fill that hole in you, and it's very important that you do that. Find out what your passions are and spend a little bit of time on those. You'll be glad you did. Anyway, guys, that is going to have to wrap it out for today's video. I have a lot of work to do, and I'm not passionate about all of it because a lot of it's just kind of housekeeping stuff. Anyway, like I said, that's going to wrap it out for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always, though. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.